Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing what I'm calling my spooky season reading challenge TBR Roundup because there are 4 reading challenges and readathons that I want to participate in for spooky season this year. And the first one is the Indie Accords reading challenge. That is a quarterly challenge on the Indie Accords Discord channel, and I chose The Path of the Dark for this quarter, which is perfect for spooky season, and it has some very spooky prompts. And we actually have an extra month for this one, so 4 months to complete 6 prompts. That's not bad. And they just have to be a different book for each prompt, and they all have to be indie books. And I will put up my board for the Indie Accords reading challenge, Path of the Dark, and Indie Accords is run by Lauren Lullabies. I'll have her channel linked down below. The first prompt is Supernatural and Undead. For that, I'm going to be reading Slowly Rewrought by Brian Smith. I've had this ebook on my phone for a very long time. Zombies, it's perfect. Second prompt is Black and Red Cover. For that, I'm going to be reading an anthology called CRYPTID, and this was put out by Splatter Inc. Publishing, which is run by Nicholas Gray. His channel will be linked down below. Number 3 is involves a mystery. So I'm going to take this opportunity to read The Tower Hill Terror by Dane Cobain, which is the second book in a mystery series. And I've read the first book, Driven, and I loved it. So finally going to read the second book. Go me. Fourth prompt is Skull on the Cover. I'm going to read Bones by Andrew Cole. Definitely a skull on the cover. So this is a collection of 4 monster stories, I think. Prompt 5 is Creepy or Haunted House. I'm going to be reading the second book in a series again. This one is Dead Woman Scorned by Michael Clark. So look at me continuing on with series. Good for me. And the last prompt is Creature Feature. And I'm picked this one off my shelf, At the Mercy of Beasts by Ed Kurtz. And this is a collection of novellas, historical novellas, and they have beasts, both supernatural and human monsters in this one for each story. So I'm looking forward to that. And that is what I'm planning on reading for spooky season for Indie Accords. Now, for that, I have all the way from September through December to read those 6 books. I'm going to try to read them in October. But, you know, I have more time if I need it, which is really nice. But I'm hoping I can move on to another path in November and do The Path of the Stars, which is more science fiction based. That would be great as well. We'll see how it all turns out, because I have a lot of books planned for October with all of these reading challenges. The next one we also have more than a month for, and that is the Halloween-a-thon Part 3. And this one is hosted by Frostbite 2022, and it goes from September 15th through November 15th. So about 2 months worth of time, and there are 6 prompts. So he had prompts for 1 for each month, September, October, November. S-O-N, and it spells out sun. For S, September, back to school, coming of age. For that, I'm going to be reading Daphne by Josh Malerman, which will be coming out in September. I'm going to read and review it. Really looking forward to it. For October, is an October or Halloween read. And I have actually 3 books that take place on Halloween or October planned. So any of those would work. The first one is Harvest Home by Thomas TRYON. I am also planning on reading Usher's Passing by Robert McCammon. I am not sure this takes place in October, but I'm guessing with the jack-o'-lantern there that it does. And also The Devil's End by D.A. Fowler, which also has a pumpkin on the cover. So I'm assuming it is Halloween based. And then N, November, is for new author, and it's to read any book by a new author to you. I'm going to be reading The Gravity of Existence by Christina Singh, who is an author of horror poetry, and she has a collection coming out in December, and I have an arc for it to read in November. It works out perfectly. And reading a bit more poetry, which I'm trying to do. So that works out well with my reading plans. The second half of the prompts are based on my initials. You could either do the letters in your name, like your first name or last name, or do your initials. I decided to do my initials so that there would only be 6 prompts total. That's going to work out best for me. And then you make up your own prompt based on those letters. So M for Mindy. M, my prompt is Manners and Medical Horror. And I'll be reading Leech by Hiram Ennis. And this is an arc I have that's coming out in September. So I'll be reading that this month for this challenge. For A, I chose Apocalyptic, and I'll be reading Little Eve by Catriona Ward, which was her first book, but it is being re-released soon, and I have an arc for it, and I'll be reading it in September. Again, working out great. And then S is Spirits and Supernatural. I picked Cold Moon Over Babylon by Michael McDowell for that prompt. This is a Southern Gothic story which takes place in a town, and there are murders and spooky happenings. Okay, and then the last 2 reading challenges are just for the month of October. The first one is Spook-a-thon, which is hosted by Stephanie's Thoughts and Reader's Retreat. And there are 6 prompts for this one as well, all for the month of October. The first one is a book to sink your teeth into. Read a vampire novel. And I will be reading Carmilla by Joseph Sheridan LeFanu. Then prompt 2, it's a little creepy. Read a short horror. For that, I chose The Woman Shrouded in Flies by Nicholas Gray. This is a very short one. A little novelette. Number 3, Stay Out. Read a haunted house story. And I'll be reading Dead Woman Scorned by Michael Clark. Then number 4, it was spooky fun. Read a book that reminds you of a creepy kid show or cartoon. So I'm going to read The Smash Man of Dread End by J.W. Ocker. About a family that moves into a new house. Her neighbors tell her not to go into the basement, and of course she does and finds something scary. This cover and that premise gave me Goosebumps vibes. Like, don't go in the basement kind of thing. Yeah. Number 5, In the Creepy Attic. Read a book with a family secret. Usher's Passing is going to be my choice for that, because the house of Usher, the Usher family, has some secrets in this book. And then the last prompt is Campfire Stories. Read a book about ghosts or myths of ghosts. Cold Moon Over Babylon is going to be my ghost book. I really hope this is about spirits and ghosts, otherwise I picked the wrong book. But I'm pretty sure some of the books I'm reading in October have ghosts if this one ends up being something else. But I'm pretty sure this is like a haunting story. I'm pretty sure there's ghosts. Okay, and then the last challenge that I've decided to do for spooky season is the A to Z horror reading challenge, hosted by Books of Blood, and there is a prompt for pretty much every letter in the alphabet, and I really liked his rules for it, that you can read whatever you want, any length of thing that you want, and as long as it's horror, that you don't have to do every prompt if you don't want to, and that you can count one book for as many prompts as you want. So making it as easy as possible. I like that. And it looks like I have something for almost every prompt. I'm going to skip 2, I think. Yep, 2. So let's get into those prompts. A is for Apocalypse. I'll be reading Little Eve by TRYON Ward. B is for Body Horror. And for that, I'm reading The Woman Shrouded in Flies, because there is a rotting dead woman in here, so that seems like something horrible that can happen to a body, be it natural. C is Creepy Kids. I don't have one for that, but if there is a creepy kid in any of these books, I'm gonna count it. E is Extreme. The Woman Shrouded in Flies is Nicholas Gray's extreme horror book, so that will count. F, Folk Horror. Oh, I don't have one for that either. I am reading Harvest Home in September. I don't think any of the other books I'm reading count as... Wait. My book for a cult. Okay, I do have a book with a cult. Yeah, that one would probably work. Loosely. I don't think it has like the isolated setting. I don't know if it's perfectly folk, but I'm reading The Devil's End by D.A. Fowler, which is has some occult elements, so I might count that as folk. We'll see how it fits. And then G, Gothic, I'll be reading Carmilla by Joseph Sheridan LeFanu. H is for Haunting. I'm reading Dead Woman Scorned by Michael Clark. L is for Lovecraftian. I don't have anything as far as I know for that. M is Monster. I am reading Bones by Andrew Cole, as well as At the Mercy of Beasts. I think both of those have monsters in them. O is for Occult. The Devil's End by D.A. Fowler. P is for Psychological. I don't think I have anything psychological horror, but if any of these end up having a psychological element, I'll count them. S is Supernatural. Supernatural, Cold Moon Over Babylon by Michael McDowell. Young Adult, The Devil's End by D.A. Fowler is all about high school age kids. I don't know if it's like truly young adult. Might be more adult content than that. I'm not sure. I'm also reading The Smashed and Dreadhouse and wait, what? The Smashed Men of Dread End. So that could probably, I think it's middle grade or young adult. Some of the characters look middle grade age and some look young adult, so no, I'm not sure. I'll have to see. And then Z is for zombie, and I'm reading Slowly Rewrought by Brian Smith. All of the spooky season reading challenge and read-a-thon fun, I can't wait. It is my favorite time and my favorite kind of reading, so bring it on. Thank you to everyone who's hosting these great events, and I will have channels linked down below. What do you think of these TBRs? Are you participating in or planning on participating in any of these events? And I will be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.